What is happening, everybody? Welcome to, you see right up there, the 40th episode of another Sports Talk podcast. So, for me personally, when you take this one and then you add the 150 episodes of collecting profit, that's 190 weeks in a row. I've been online. What's up, Mike? How you doing? Hope all is well. Good show. You guys had good show. Good show. Um, so 190 weeks in a row when you add the two podcasts together, that's a lot. That is definitely a lot. But hey, so you know, we're at that time of year. We talk about a lot. It's in the dog days of summer. Yeah, that's a lot. It's crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. We're in the dog days of summer, right? Baseball, it's kind of, you know, so you got some teams that are jockeying around, they're still, I mean, here we are today. Well, you know what? Let's talk. Yeah, we'll just keep talking that. Um, you know, you still have a lot of teams in the mix. And in the American League, the National League is starting to it's starting to the herd is starting to thin in the National League. When you look at what's going on, the American League, still plenty of teams there. Um, from that standpoint and everything. Uh, with the MLB, and I'll wait for John to pop on. We could get his opinion on the whole thing of who he thinks may sneak in some of these last few weeks with these last few playoff spots open. But this whole Dodgers thing is very, very interesting. Uh, Not exactly sure, you know, what's going to happen and stuff like that, but it will be interesting as they, for lack of better words, peel back the onion a little more and see what is truly going on and seeing how, this, you know, this is going to work. I mean, this is a federal probe. I mean, if you're unsure with what is going on, TWG Global, the holding company of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Mark Walter, he issued a statement saying, basically, substantial speculation and misinformation in the wake of the federal probe into potential financial improprieties within the company. Like, that can't be good. When the government's looking at you, that can't be good. So, uh, potential sale of the Dodgers could get $10 billion on the open market. Uh, And they're saying why? Well, because of speculation in the wake of Walter's stunning sale of the Lakers for 12.5. So who knows what's going to happen? It's going to be very interesting to see how this, how this goes. You know, Mike, and Johnny on, on the Baseball Junkies podcast, briefly mentioned, about next year, and they're talking about players for potential Hall of Fame and so on and so forth. And we already know, that what happened back in 2020, how that messed up, a lot of guys, career stats. You think about there are guys, who, you know, could have a lot more RBIs, a lot more home runs, better averages, winners. I mean, pitchers, more wins, you know, relievers, more saves, holds, all that kind of good stuff. And, depending on what happens, in 2027, with with this whole possible strike, lockout, strike, whatever the hell you want to call it, no baseball. I mean, once again, you have, selfish reasons. Now selfish reasons on some of the players, right? Because I'm sure there's going to be some players who are like, hey, hell no, I don't want there to not be baseball. I want to, continue, careers and so on and so forth. What's up, Kenneth? How you doing? But from a standpoint of, you know, records, career accomplishments, you know, players think about that kind of stuff. Look at Kyle Schwarber, right? And we may, whether you like Kyle Schwarber or not, Kyle Schwarber, he tied the Phillies record of with the 40th, sorry, the fourth 40 home run season. Now, the way Kyle Schwarber has been playing, hey, you would think he could go ahead and break the record at 5 next year. Nothing says when you look at when you look at Schwarber, nothing says no, he can't do it. Nothing says, that, you know, he will, get hurt or anything like that. The guy plays. And when you're looking at the guy plays. Right, 33 years old. Does that matter? If he gets he gets some later, late games like that. So if he doesn't go ahead and get it, so he misses, you missed his 34th. So now all of a sudden he's 35 years old. Now he's a DH. So I would think it wouldn't be that big of a deal. He should still be able to get there, but you never know. You never know what happens with with the way baseball, with the way baseball is. So we'll see. One, two, three, yeah. We will see. But you look at 2020 as a great example. Only played 59 games and he hit 11 home runs. Kyle Schwarber has 379 home runs. There's a chance that he would already have 400 if 2020, didn't happen the way it did. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what goes on with some of these guys, as these things go on. But I think, I think Major League Baseball, I know what the owners want to do. And I gotta believe they cannot sit back and look and say, "Hey, wow, we need to stop baseball for 2027." I just don't get it. There has to be this whole salary cap thing has got to be bigger than what maybe a lot of people are saying it is. It's the only thing I can think of as to why you would entertain shutting down your league again. We remember the last time we had this kind of crap happen, and it took a lot. It's funny, right? A lot of people will say, if not only a guy like Cal Ripken go ahead and go and chasing, the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig, but it was Sammy, Mark McGuire. What did that bring in? All of a sudden, we had players being juiced. That's what it took. And we all know that can't happen again. Not with the way the players are tested and stuff. So what's gonna happen to bring it back? It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be something that they really they really need to go ahead and get a hold of. They really need to figure this out. And it sucks is that what we as fans are gonna go through. You know, um, but hey, all we can do is wait. We can hope that cooler heads prevail. Um, will the yeah, you know, is there a need for a salary cap? Is there not need for a salary cap? I'm hoping John gets on here soon because I'd really like to, discuss that with him. Hopefully he'll be here in a little bit. He did say that he was gonna be a little late. Oh, and speak of a man, and
What's up?
how are you?
Good. Yourself?
Good, 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 good.
What is up to everybody in the chat? Mike, Kenneth,
Yep,
and those lurking in the background.
that's true. Um, you know, they need to be talking. So we're talking about the whole baseball thing with the CBA coming to an end, and what are really the next steps that need to happen. And I mean, obviously, this whole salary cap thing is going to be, I gotta believe, is going to be, that's the tip of this, that's the tip of the arrow.
Right.
So number one, here's my two questions to you. Number one, do you care if baseball has a salary cap? And follow that up with question number two is, does MLB need a salary cap, in your opinion?
Answer number one: no, it doesn't matter to me either way. Number two, I believe in some cases, yes, it does. I mean, you look at these extravagant contract these guys are signing to play a game that we all played as kids for nothing is just ridiculous. And some of them aren't even worth what they're getting paid.
But if you have a salary cap and now you have a salary floor, doesn't that mean now that there's potentially going to be more guys getting paid more money that they don't deserve?
Oh, I'm sure there is. I mean, we're not going to be able to change any of it, unfortunately. But I think it'd be good because you have it in football, you have it in basketball, right? You have it in hockey.
Basketball I mean, I believe, yeah, hockey's the only one with the ceiling and the floor. So you have a minimum you have to meet. I don't know what the gap is, but I don't think the gap is as big as what I've heard some of the ones for the MLB. Now I'm going to say the gap isn't that big. The gap could be $40 million, and we're talking about like $40 million is $4. you know.
So, so for the NHL, upper limit is 104 million.
Uh-huh.
Lower limit is 76.9.
So yeah, so
A little less than double.
like 28 million or so. You said 104 and 76.
Yeah.
So it's
It
28
might be
million.
77. It's 76.9, but
All right, so 27, 25 million, 20, 20 somewhere, 26, $27 million between uh the high and the low. Now
yeah,
that seems kind of reasonable. Now, they have less players on teams,
right.
you know.
And looking at the NFL, they just have a salary cap
Yeah.
set at 301.2 million per team.
Right.
I mean,
That's
you could do something like that in baseball. Maybe that's a better way of doing a salary cap than having a ceiling and a floor. Maybe.
But I think the point is that what are we try what do you think they're trying to accomplish? Like, if the I'm wondering where the push is coming from, because if you're
I wouldn't say it's the owner because they wanted more money in their pockets.
I I get that. I get that completely.
So
But
I think it's right. No.
if you're looking at right now, right? If you're looking at a um the average right now based off of Spoke Track is 179 million. But here's my thing. If you put a cap, and let's say the cap was, I don't care, it was 250 million, which let's just use that, right?
Okay.
If the cap is 250, what what's the incentive for Miami Marlins to all of a sudden increase their payroll from where it is right now?
Exactly. But if you have a 250 ceiling, if you follow kind of hockey, if you did, you'd be looking at what, maybe a $115,000 floor, maybe roughly 120,000.
That's crazy though. If you go ahead and have
20 million.
over $100 million gap,
Yeah, maybe it'd be less than that. Maybe it'd be like 145, 150 million. You have a 50 million gap. What's up, Logan?
what's up, Larkin? How you doing? Like I just don't. I mean, if it just seems to me in baseball, if you're like, because NFL, I mean, I would think that you know teams have a lot of cap space because they'll let contracts go and all this other kind of stuff. Like for a football team to have $100 million in cap space, that's only from year to year because that next year they load up on going for the biggest, free agents and offering them contracts that nobody else can.
True.
You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I don't know if they would get it if all the owners. See, I don't know if I actually see a striker lockout coming this year or this coming year, just because.
Well, it has to because the CBA ends this year.
But could they reach a tentative agreement to go through one more year and finalize it all next year? That's what I'm thinking they might do because it's so late in the season now.
True. I mean,
let's just make something tentative for one more year, so we can all get to the table and work it out over the break, and then. I mean, that's the only. I don't know. It's gonna come down to how they structure it, and I don't see how it really hurts the players that much. That's the thing.
well, and I agree. See, that's what I'm saying. If you are, look, I'm
You're
going
Juan Soto or
just because I just saw his name, look. Let's use Kansas City. If right now Kansas City is at, let's say, 150 million,
right,
and the floor is 180 million, wouldn't they just go to their younger players that they believe are like? Wouldn't they go to a Caglione, a Pascantino? Because I think they already have Bobby. But wouldn't they go? You would think, look, hey guys, we got to get 30. We have to get $30 more million. Let's just go ahead and give it to 2 or 3 players.
right.
Than going ahead and making it across the board. Like, that's what I'm saying. Is from a standpoint of from a floor perspective.
Instead of trying to go out and get new players, let's give money to guys we already have, or incentives even to where, hey.
Yeah, we'll give money to the guys that we have. So now, yes, it's going to make it look. It would, but like for Pittsburgh, right? It would make it easier for them to keep some of the young guys that they believe, like again, some of these guys already signed long-term deals, but Paul Skeens, if they believe in Skeens and they're ready to go ahead, bam, boom. You know what? We could give Skeens $30 million a year because they almost have to.
Right.
Because they have to get to a floor. So all of a sudden now, do the star players go ahead and they go, oh, okay, Paul Skeens is going to go out on the market. You know what, Paul? We'll offer you $35 million a year to go ahead and stay here. What's the difference between what they kind of sort of do now versus what they would do with a floor? Because a floor doesn't mean that, hey, if we have $100 million and we need to get up to $170 million, that doesn't mean, hey, let's take $70 million and spread it out amongst all the guys we have signed.
Right.
It means your stars, the guys that they believe are stars, the guys that would potentially leave. Now, what I think the big thing for a salary cap, and I don't know whether or not it's really true in baseball as much as it used to be anymore, is the superstar guys leaving because their hometown team won't pay them.
Right.
So, to me, what a salary cap does This is what so from an owner from a from and so here I'm gonna from an owner perspective and a player perspective. So for me, for an owner perspective or a team perspective, the salary cap allows me the opportunity because I have to hit a certain threshold to pay my young superstar more money because I have to pay anyway. I might as if I'm going to give it to someone, I might as well give it to this guy and have this guy stay. Now,
True.
to me, what a salary cap does for the players, now, in my opinion, we see who's in it for the money and who's in it to win championships.
True. Has there been any talk from the owners as far as like numbers, like high and low numbers, or no?
I had heard like 240 and 175.
Okay.
A salary cap is not an arbitrary number, it's based on revenue. That's not the way unless that has changed, Lawkin. The last I heard was that there was going to be a ceiling of about 240 something million, and there was going to be a floor of about 170 million. Because if that's what they're going to do, that would be even worse. To go ahead and try and base it off of revenue, that would be worse. That because now revenue in what way? Is it revenue of the league or is it revenue of the team?
Yeah, because I'm looking at it on I googled it, and you're right. The proposed top is 245.3 with a floor of 171.2,
That's what was
which
proposed.
would follow hockey almost.
I understand what you're saying about it. It may be based off of revenue from a year to year thing, but it can't be revenue per team. It has to be revenue of the league. Right. I'm not saying exactly. I'm not saying it wouldn't go up every year. I mean, the floors, hockey has gone up every year, I believe, the floor and the ceiling. The NFL has gone up. The NBA has gone up. That part has gone up. But they're gonna have a number that they have to have a number to start with before they can go ahead and figure out how much it goes up the following year. Does it go up 5 million? Does it go up 3 million? Does it go up 8 million? You know, from that standpoint. Same thing with the floor. What I'm saying though is that we all of a sudden think that a salary cap with a ceiling and a floor, is it because we believe there's going to be parity? I mean, John, do you believe that if there was a salary cap instituted in the MLB, that all of a sudden we are going to have parity?
No, I don't think you would. I mean, yes, it's a possibility, but I don't feel that you would get that. I
The
mean,
only way, the way it happened, it would happen more kind of sort of like the NFL. And what I mean by that is that, hey, you are, I don't know, Junior Caminero that's a bad example, but you're Junior Caminero for Tampa. And you believe that you should get paid $40 million a year. Well, there's only going to be so many teams that are going to, I mean, there's only going to be so many teams that are going to be willing to make you that offer. What if one of them is Miami? Because Miami goes, hey, let's lock him up for 5 years at $40 million a year. That's $40 million towards our $170 million floor based off of what we have on the books already. I'm just thinking it from that standpoint. And then if you're Junior Caminero, you want to go to the Miami Marlins? Yeah, I'm making $40 million a year, but I'm okay finishing in 4th place, 3rd place, or 4th place.
you got a point there. I was just looking at the highest paid players and what they're making and how the salary cap could affect them. But you got a point. Like Soto's at 61 a year, Bellinger at 42, Bichette at 42, Wheeler at 42, Guerrero Jr. at 40. So yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting if they do propose that and it comes through. But
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Lawkins says, I mean, I know it'll go up every single year.
Yeah.
I mean, Yeah. I mean, I understand that part. I'm just thinking from a team perspective. Having a ceiling and a floor doesn't necessarily go ahead and bring on parity. I mean, you know, I don't know if I mean, the closest thing we got that we'd have to compare it with would be the NHL. And, what do but you look at the NHL and what, like half the league makes the playoffs. you know? So it isn't like it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I mean, a lot, 2, 4, 6. I mean, 16 teams make the playoffs in the NHL, and the NHL has 30 teams. Or no, they have 32. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So half the teams make the playoffs. But I bet you if you look at the NHL, you know, salaries and stuff like that, I am sure it's pretty darn good. You know, I mean, Detroit, that's for 26, 27. You know, Detroit has $19.5 million in cap space. Toronto and Las Vegas and Florida are, um, they're, yeah, they're at the max of 104 or actually a little higher. But again, I don't know, but when you look at it, I mean, you know, Seattle's done well. A couple of teams have done well, but like overall, you really don't see it, going along there. There are one, two, three. There are four teams who have negative salary cap space: Las Vegas, Toronto, Dallas, and Florida. After that, a lot of teams don't have a lot of space. So it's going to be interesting to see. Like I said, as MLB, does their things. Um, yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting. Team racking tax payrolls. I don't know what this means. 2026, the tax threshold was $244 million. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I wish it would just be, active contracts and off-season positions, transactions, more. The CBA. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be very interesting. I think baseball, again, in my opinion, I think baseball is at a very particular spot. Hello, John. Happy birthday, sir. Um, going to be interesting. I don't know what they can do. They're going to have to figure something out. Like Mike uh, had said, they should be going ahead and talking right now. Um, I understand what he said about, the owners that are not putting good teams out there are pocketing the money. I agree. I agree completely. I just don't know when you look. I don't know, man. I just, I don't know. To me, when you look at those numbers, are very good. Oh, I agree. From a player perspective, the cap numbers, especially the floor number, is very good for players. I agree. Um, I don't believe in this. Again, this is just my humble opinion. I don't believe that all of a sudden now you're going to get some of these teams at the lower end. of all of a sudden going out and trying to get a lot of star players. I mean, again, nothing against, the Miami Marlins and everything, but, how many players? I mean, you're going to have to almost do like what happened in the NBA where you get 2 or 3 stars, you get 3 stars that say, hey, we're all going to go here and take, what it is. NFL cap just got 300 million and they have twice as many players and bring in way more money. True.
Sorry,
But
about
who
that.
makes the money? Okay, now look at who makes the money. It's a quarterback, wide receiver league when it comes to the money. That's where and defensive ends, right? When you think about it from a position standpoint, and you look at the cap of the NFL, if you were to look and see the biggest cap hits,
Yeah.
quarterbacks, probably defensive ends, and wide receivers are probably the top 3 right there.
Well,
Those are probably
the top 4 are Mahomes, Prescott, Burrow, and Love.
yeah.
It's anywhere from 64 million to 58.3 for just them guys.
Right. So I mean, so the cap right there, the cap doesn't make parity throughout the league.
Right.
That's what's going to wind up happening. Juan Soto is going to get his money, right? Bobby Witt is going to get his money. If these guys progress, if Julio progresses, he's going to get his money.
Shohei will get his.
Right.
Mookie will get his. All those type of people that have that kind of money.
Exactly. Tyreek's going to, Tarek Skubal is going to get his money. The next great pitcher, whoever it is that may be coming up, he'll get his money. A lot of these young players, also, we may not see it as much because a bunch of these younger players have decided to take deals.
Yeah.
Look at Connor Griffin from Pittsburgh. He took one. Cheerio took one. I mean, even Julio, Bobby, a lot of them have taken, these long-term deals. You look at the baseball team from Georgia, what they did with a bunch of their guys. They started doing it a lot sooner. They did the same exact thing. Hey, buy out all these years and stuff like that. Let's buy out let's go ahead and buy out some of their prime right now and see what happens.
Yeah.
And I think you will see the same thing wind up happening. Again, we have guys right now who have already signed those big contracts. So it's that next wave of guys that we're talking about. Either the young guys that, like where are those guys? Like, I don't know about Junior Caminero. I don't know what he's the only name that pops off at me. Yordan Alvarez. I don't know, like, how long is Yordan Alvarez, signed for?
So Caminero right now is signed to a 1-year deal for $795,000.
That's because they get paid very little for the first 10 years of their career. You're right. I mean, that's what baseball does go ahead and do, from that standpoint. But again, you have some of these young guys going ahead and and signing deals. Bobby did it, Julio did it. Connor Phillips just went. Not Connor Phillips. Wait, is that his name? Connor Phillips, guy from Pittsburgh.
I don't know Pittsburgh guys that much.
He went ahead and did it. Some of the guys in Cincinnati did it. Milwaukee's done it with some of their players. I mean, there have been guys, there have been teams that have done those types of things with some of their, players.
Right. All right, come on.
That is true. That is definitely true. I don't know how many guys out there. I mean, I think back in the day that that happened a little more. I think if you look at some of these young guys signing now, some of them are going ahead, and trying to get beyond that, past that, and take the security, of a 6-year deal, 7-year deal, at 150 million or something like that, and get locked in for crazy kind of prices, so that they can be all right. Connor Griffin, um, he just signed it. He signed his deal was 9 years, 140 million. And right now he's gonna get three, 2.5 this year, 3.5 next year, 5.5, then 7.5, and then all of a sudden at age 24, 14 million. Age 25, 22 million, 26, 27 million, 28, he's getting 29 million, and at 28, he's getting 29 million. Now here's a kid who has a lot of promise. He hasn't done a damn thing,
Right.
but he signed a 9-year, $140 million contract. Don't get me wrong. I don't really care how much the players get paid.
Right.
Don't think that I'm against it. I am not against it at all. I don't care. Like John had said earlier, a salary cap, I could care less. It's not going to affect me one bit.
Right.
Maybe, well, I shouldn't say that. It may cost me a little bit more for the MLB package, for the yearly package. But overall, it's not going to cost me anything. It's not going to cost me more money. It's not going to stop me from going to a baseball game because guess what? Where I live now, the closest team is 5.5 hours away.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm driving 5.5 hours for a baseball game. Because it's not just that. Now there's going to be a hotel and all the other stuff involved. It's going to be like, now it's a weekend.
Yeah.
Well, not even a weekend. I can go during the week, but I know I got to take vacation, but it doesn't make a difference. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that type of thing. So, when you think about where a lot of people live, it's not going to affect a lot of people. Now, does it affect the actual fans that live within a fairly decent distance of, a Major League Baseball team?
I don't know if it would or wouldn't really.
I don't know. Exactly. Are prices going to go up that much more?
I don't think. I mean, they might initially, and then they're going to see the fans like, "Oh, we're not paying that, not showing up," and then they're going to be like some of these places now where they're offering $5 bleacher tickets.
Yeah. But I really don't care. I don't care
Yeah.
what a company, I don't care what a private company wants to do with their money. I don't care.
Yeah. You do you.
I'm just saying, it doesn't make it again, I don't get me wrong, it's like, well, these guys, the Miami Marlins, look at how much money those owners bank. True. 100% correct. So we need to put in places where maybe we don't have good faith owners then. Yeah, I'm not going to baseball game. $8 for decent, 40 to park. Right. Exactly. That is good because
That's
here comes
walking.
a data center on your lake.
Yes, you can't afford it anymore.
What I would tell you, so data, the whole thing, the whole bullshit about data centers needed water is untrue. There are other ways you could go ahead, and if that's just one method of building them. That's the
Right.
cheaper one. If you spend more money to go ahead and build them, you don't need to use the water. That's what they need to go ahead and do. It's not go ahead and not build data centers. It's, hey, guess what? No, you're not gonna go ahead and use the water to go ahead and cool them. So you don't have to worry. That's where the government should go ahead and get involved and say, hey, because it's all about the way you build them. There are plenty of data centers. There's plenty of data centers out there right now, and you don't hear about water being used. How do you think Amazon works? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Just curious. Or eBay. Or wait, what are we on? YouTube.
Shoot, yep.
I mean, so that's a whole other thing. But getting back to the baseball thing is, yeah, I agree. you know, how if all of a sudden the LA Dodgers and the New York Mets have to reduce their payroll by, I don't know, I don't even know what. Let's say it's 100 million, and I don't know how that happens. Like I don't know how. I don't know how they go to the Mets and the Dodgers and go, hey, guess what? You're only allowed to be at 240 million. Right now, you're at 340 million. You need to chop off 100 million. $100 million. What you think? Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor are getting cut? No,
It's all your lower end people.
exactly. And what are you going to do? So then you're going to have to make them cut all those players, and then they have inferior players now that they have to play, and then that makes them go to crap. And they don't play well. Implementation is going to be another thing that no one talks about. You don't hear about it. You hear about a ceiling, you hear about the owner's proposal, but you don't hear about how the implementation goes.
Right.
Like I said, I can care less. It doesn't make a difference to me. I don't care how much a player makes.
Right.
If the cap if it's 100 and if it's 240 million, and you want to pay one player 100 million, and then you want to pay the rest of the team the other 140 million, go right ahead. I don't care. I don't care. I like what I mean. I like the sport of baseball, so I'm going to watch. I'm gonna do kind of what I do, most nights, after this show, or to go ahead and just if I don't feel like going to bed early, I'll put on the MLB network and I'll get whatever game I can go ahead and get. The one thing I would hope that would come out of this damn friggin' whole thing is the whole blackout bull crap. That's what I would love to go ahead and see get friggin' thrown away, because that's absolutely friggin' ridiculous.
I agree, but I think you're going to see more of it, honestly.
Well, I don't know how. I mean, but but they have to figure something out, because me sitting here in Lexington, North Carolina, I should not be blacked out for 4 Major League Baseball teams when the closest one is 5.5 hours from my house.
And
there is no reason.
Yeah.
What?
You know what they're going to say to you? You shouldn't have moved there. You should have moved somewhere you don't have the blackouts. You're going to be like, there is nowhere.
If there's a place you can, okay. I guess maybe you go to Alaska, you don't get any blackouts, or you move to Hawaii, you don't get any blackouts.
Maybe.
But I mean, it makes no sense that here I am in Lexington, North Carolina, and I'm blacked out from watching the baseball team from Georgia, 6 hours away. Washington Nationals about 5.5. Baltimore Orioles probably about 5.5, 6. And the one that I don't understand for the life of me is the Cincinnati Reds. Cincinnati Reds are like 8.5 hours from my house if I would do that. Every team is blacked out except the one you subscribe to. Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe I would be okay with that. If you said, hey, you're signing up, and you only want to watch the Mets, you only get Mets games. You don't get to watch the Dodgers against Seattle. Okay. I mean, I would take that. Now, don't change. I mean, obviously, I'm hoping you would charge me less. I know they won't. I know they won't, but I'm hoping they would. But it makes no flipping sense. It makes 0 sense. The whole blackout thing. I could understand if you are within a reasonable amount of miles from a baseball field stadium. Let's say 100 miles, right? 100-mile radius from there, boom, you're blacked out. It's like the people friggin' in Alabama or Mississippi, they're blacked out from watching the baseball team from Georgia. Why?
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense.
You know,
Ooh.
I mean the playoff. But getting back, I mean the play. Here we are. We're in that time of the season, right? You're getting towards the end of August and everything, and in the National League for the playoff, it's like $20 a month. I get Raw games. Every other team is locked. I did not know that they had that as a package.
Wow.
You only get Royals games no matter where. Do you live within driving distance of the Royal Stadium? A halfway decent amount. I'm just curious. Is that under MLB TV, Larkin? Please let me know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like when you look at the National League playoffs, the herd is starting to thin. Your three wild card teams are the Cubs, the Phillies, and the Padres.
I think the Padres Diamondbacks could flip.
Yeah, there's only one game between them two.
The other ones I think are pretty much set.
Yeah, and then you go to Miami, which is 4.5. They're the next one. They're the number 1, 2, 3. They're the number 5 team. 4.5 games. I mean, we're at what? We're at 133 games or so. 130 somewhere, maybe 135-ish games. So 4.5 games over 30 games. I mean, that's still in reach, but that's crazy.
Well, you would have to, because I'm looking at this now, and
I gotcha.
Phillies are at 4 games behind Atlanta. Marlins are 10.5.
Yeah, but Philly is 2 up in the wild card.
Right, and they would have to have a slump, which could happen, but I don't know. I know we're not near it.
I mean, Miami needs San Diego and Arizona to really, to all of a sudden, play bad.
I think, like I said, the Cubs more or less got it locked.
I would think it would be hard for the Cubs would have to go on a disastrous.
Yeah.
They would have to be really, really bad over the last 30-ish games of the season.
Right. You switch over to American League.
American League's a lot closer.
Yeah, because you got Yankees and Red Sox 1.5 behind each other. That could turn around. The top 3 there could turn around in 30 games.
Right, but you have 6 teams that are 5.5 games or less out of the last playoff spot.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you're the Tigers. That's a lot to go ahead and make up.
Right. And I'll be honest with you, it's not impossible if, like right now, with the Royals being the hot team and with, 8 games in a row they've won. I mean,
yeah,
they can pull something out.
Yeah, 8.5 out. Yeah, I mean,
and even the West, the Astros only got a half a game on the Rangers. The Mariners are right there at 3 behind. So yeah, this is like anybody's race. I think
that's where you look at it. Like Texas is 1.5 games out of the final spot.
Are they
playoffs? But they're only a half a game out of first place, right? So, they win tonight and Houston loses tonight. They flip flop. Now all of a sudden they're in, and Houston is, trying to get the last wild card spot.
Okay, so I got a question for you. How are the Rangers in that spot you mentioned when they're only a half a game out? You have the Guardians at 2 and Yankees at 4. So wouldn't the Rangers kind of more or less be locked in at that point?
No. It's not the top. It's the top 3 records after the division winners. So the Yankees have 74 wins. Guardians have 68. Rangers have 66. But Boston has 73.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, the Tigers have they've gone 2-8 over the last 10. Not good. So that's where it is. I mean, the Yankees and the Red Sox are pretty much a lock. Was in the wild card, the Yankees are 7.5 games up, and the Red Sox are 6 games up. That's going to be tough to make up in 30 games. Again, can it happen? Yes, we've seen it before, but probably not. You know, so so the playoffs can still be fun. With some of those teams and everything. That's why it was weird when you looked at some of these teams. I mean, it's interesting that some of them decided not to make really any kind of moves. At the trading deadline.
Right.
But
I'm looking at. So as of right now, you have the Rays, the White Sox, and Astros. Behind that is Yankees, Red Sox, Guardians.
right.
Over in NL, you got Milwaukee, Los Angeles, and the Braves.
Yep.
And then behind them, Cubs, Phillies, and Padres. Padres, like you said, Padres has only got that 1-game lead. Philly is
even the Cubs at 4. It's not like
that
anything could happen in a 10-game span, and depending on who you're playing, also, right?
Yeah, those 4 teams definitely could swing. How the Cubbies doing tonight?
Well, see, like here, for instance, right? The Cubs
lost today, so that's a loss to the Diamondbacks. Yes.
The Cubs have 3 against Cincinnati. Then they have 4 against Milwaukee. And they still got to play Milwaukee another 3 times. They play the baseball team from Georgia. They play the Red Sox. So their schedule is not that easy.
They lost with them losing to the Diamondbacks. That gains the Diamondbacks a game. The Padres won, so they jump a game too. Yeah, the Yankees are actually winning right now. Your Mets, unfortunately, are losing like my Nationals are.
Yeah.
We're losing to the Rockies, nonetheless, 8-1. That's just sick. Oh well. Anyway, what else we got to talk about?
I mean, when you look at it, there are some teams that have, Seattle has 28 games remaining, and out of all the teams they're playing, the winning percentage of the teams they have left is .436.
Woo.
The Cubs, we just talked about the Cubs, right? So now look, okay, now that's interesting. The Cubs have the second hardest schedule remaining. They have 28 games remaining. The teams they play have a .535 winning percentage.
Wow.
Philadelphia's teams have a .525. So so many, now, and then some are just, like the White Sox, very favorable schedule. Cleveland, like we were saying, hey, what about Cleveland? Cleveland has the 27th hardest schedule, meaning they have the 4th easiest.
What about the Dodgers? What do they got?
Yeah, believe it or not, Dodgers have 30 games left, and the winning percentage of the teams that they have to play is .476.
Wow.
They have the 25th hardest schedule.
And who did you say has number 1?
Cincinnati, .576.
Wow.
It's Cincinnati, the Cubs, Miami, Philadelphia, San Francisco, baseball team from Georgia, Tampa Bay, the Mets, Colorado, and Texas. Those are your top 10. Those are the teams those are the top 10 hardest schedules. strength of schedule.
Well, at least the Reds don't have anything to worry about.
No, no, only helps them get a better draft pick.
And you guys might actually come out of the basement because you're only 2 games behind us.
Yeah, anything's possible. But I mean, Mets have been playing really good baseball. 8-2. I'm sorry. I mean, 7-3 over the last 10 games. They're losing tonight, which ain't really helping. But the bad part about them is, I mean, I don't know. They have struggled. It has been crazy to understand. I don't, when you look at the way they play under this manager, Andy Green, versus under Carlos Mendoza. I mean, it makes you wonder, how much does the manager mean? I'm not saying that they've gone ahead and they were, or all of a sudden, they're 3 games out of the final playoff spot. They're still 11 games out, but it just makes you wonder, what would have happened.
Wow. You got Soto and could return as early as September 1st. I think it'd be better just to sit them. You're not going for a playoff spot. But
yeah, I would not be as the fan, I would not be thrilled with potentially bringing him back just to bring him back. I don't think that, in my opinion, I don't think that would be a good idea. Why are you going to risk it when right now you have less than a 1% chance of making the playoffs?
right, I feel the same way with Woods. Just leave him out, let him heal.
Yeah.
Bring him back next year.
The Nationals and the Mets have the same percentage. They have less than 0.1% chance of making the playoffs.
They would have to have a catastrophic for the teams above them.
Yeah.
Like, and it's in their league.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Just let it go, and we'll let the salary cap go ahead and take care of everything for us.
There you go. We pull our money together, we can buy the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And then we just pull Shohei into the office and be like, look, we appreciate what you've done, but we hope you're the best in your future endeavors. Save us some money.
I would be interested.
Not much has gone on in football.
Well, there were a couple of scares with injuries.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase hurt his knee.
I love how that equal guy they had, and then they ended up, they do to him, not cut him, but kind of like put him on the back burner now.
Yeah.
Putting him in IR.
You're 100% correct, Walken. All those baseball contracts are 100% guaranteed.
Yeah, see, if I owned a team,
the last letter of their last name.
I own a team, nobody's getting a guaranteed contract. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to play for it to get your guarantee.
Well, then you would never go ahead and be able to own a Major League Baseball team because that's part of what it is.
Oh, they let him go? Thought he was set for a match.
No. They let Dragunov go. Sheamus is gone.
They weren't doing anything with him.
Everybody's saying Bailey is going. That Bell is supposed to show up at AEW All In, but then said that the other night, Bailey was referenced by Lyra in her backstage thing. So, I don't know what the deal is.
Oh, reading up, she hasn't announced she's leaving, but her contract ends the end of this year. So possible. But like you said, with her, I think she's going to end up being back. What they do with her, I don't know.
Well, why would you come back unless it's really just to go ahead and push some of the young girls because Belly's not getting a run.
No. Does she come back and put Lyra in her place and get Lyra back out of the whatever the hell they're doing with her?
Yeah, that was a strange character twist. Mm.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, Dragunov. Let's face it, it was a waste of the contract. It was a waste of talent. It'd be interesting to see where that guy goes. But who knows?
Looking at Bronson Reed, they're saying that he's going to come back and get a main event push with a strong upward trajectory as a top heel. Discussed internally for a major program with Femi later in the year. So who knows what they're going to do there? And Monday night really.
Give the young guy by their standards. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what.
For me.
Hmm?
Monday night, except for the last match where you had Royce Keys and them come in, but everything else is kind of eh.
I don't. I do not get that whole thing with Keys.
The only thing that made sense for me to say is when I told you maybe it's a Survivor Series setup. I don't know.
Well, if it is though, then but he also went after LA Knight and Solo. Now the only thing I can think of is he could kind of sort of in a way say, hey guys, you would just now either the bloodline was collateral damage or they were collateral damage, and maybe it's hey, you didn't when I was out, you didn't talk to me, you didn't call me, you didn't do nothing, you pieces of crap. And so that's why I took you guys out with the bloodline. I took you guys out because the bloodline who's went ahead and the one who put me out and everything.
Right.
I know they are useless. So basically, you just brought them up to be thugs.
Another faction.
But another 3-man faction, which what do 3-man factions do in WWE? They don't have a trios title.
Look at division. I mean, you have what 1, 2, 3, technically 4 heel factions. You have Judgment Day. You have this new one with Royce Keys. You have Division, and you have technically the Bloodline. Why would you need 4 of them on one show? You couldn't have thrown them to freaking, SmackDown or something?
You're right. They were.
Yeah. You don't need 4 heel factions, whatever you want to call it, on one show. That just makes no sense.
Well,
right, exactly, Locking 4 of them.
The Bloodline will be a heel faction when they go up against LA Knight and Solo, but they'll probably be a face faction when they go up against Royce's Keys guys.
Yeah, you got a point there. Because they're not technically face or heel. Technically. They're middle of the road type deal. But still, I mean, what are you going to have Royce Keys, the 2 heel teams, and Division go against each other? That makes no sense.
The whole thing doesn't make sense.
Oh, do you have for Sunday night? Do you have the cheat sheet for it so we can make our predictions? I forgot about that. That's this Sunday, I think.
No, isn't it the 8th?
Maybe it is next week. Okay. It's
Right?
this, why are they saying September 6th? Okay, so it's 2 weeks away. My bad.
Phew.
What do they got coming up? Anything good? Got that stupid no heat wave and Dale Gore.
Well, don't they have that? That's going on. That's
This
like a Saturday during the day thing, though, isn't it? Right? I think.
what the heat wave and all?
Yeah.
No, heat wave is Sunday. With you have the Ola de Galore and heat wave both on the 30th, starting at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I saw a
I think they're all out of. Isn't it all out of the same arena too? I think.
yeah Burt Ogden Arena.
Whatever that
I
is.
saw somebody put up a fake post, I'm sure, that showed you had Royce Key's team along with Zilla and Montez Ford against the Bloodline. I don't know if you'd bring up Zilla for a just a one nighter.
Or why would you? Why would you? What would you do with OTM? You just went ahead and associated them in with Keys.
Well, they're saying to put it in for the Survivor match. The other two guys would be Montez Ford and Zilla Fatu, which
Oh, Keys with his other two guys.
yeah.
Oh, that's why, because AEW is in London, so they are early here because AEW will be early here. I mean, it just goes to show you how petty they have become. I mean, I'm sorry, it really is crazy how petty WWE has become with this whole thing. I just don't.
And I called it with the whole tournament for Roman Reigns that come down to Penta and his brother for the spot, and just you saw that coming.
I agree, Larkin. I don't understand.
If it's true, I don't think it is, but because why would Montez Ford? I mean, it just doesn't make sense for him to.
Yeah, well, and I heard that they were going back to that they were actually changing to go to 4 against 4 to reduce it and not do 5 against 5. But who the hell knows?
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't understand. No, I really don't understand why you have Ray Phoenix against Penta. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think you could have easily have had to been like if you could have had Dragon Lee up there. I guess it's one of those things where it's, hey, guess what? We're gonna put the brothers in the ring together. They're great against each other, and
Lay down.
it's going to be a great match. I mean, that's really the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, and it's something probably people said they wanted to see. So let's put it together. The only one that would even have half a chance against Roman would be Penta, and Roman's not losing that title because I read somewhere that WWE is still focused on another Punk Roman Reigns match. So I don't know if Punk's planning on losing his title at some point, and they're going to have that match again. Why? God only knows.
Then Punk goes back to Raw.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Makes no sense.
It's just like Ron Breakker against Obafemi.
Yeah. Okay, you're
Like,
you're fighting for to be the new guy or whatever you want to call it. I mean, yeah, oh yeah, it is hopeless.
that's right. That's right. That's what it is. I don't. Again, I don't know. I don't. I do not understand it. Um.
Anyone could write on a napkin better match the setups and stuff.
Well, it's sad. We were talking about. Somebody had mentioned something online. One of the guys was saying, something along the lines of is that, and it's. I mean, it's true, but it's not true. I mean, I think there's more truth to the statement than there is falsehoods of just that, you know, we went from almost kind of sort of predictable
Right.
to everything was predictable to where now, it's predictable, but it's unpredictable because it's stupid stuff done in unconventional way. Like it's unconventional. It's like when you had before where you would say, okay, hey, like you already knew whoever won this tournament from the luchadors was not beating Roman Reigns.
Right.
So it's become it's become predictable that it's unpredictable of what are you going to do because it doesn't make a difference. It's like it's unpredictable because you don't really care.
And what does it really do for Roman Reigns or that person? Nothing. It
It's just
doesn't
going to
build
be
you.
it's in that Raw is in Mexico City, so it's putting butts in seats.
Yeah. But I mean, it doesn't do anything for the characters.
No, no. Once again, what do you do? I mean, now here's the other thing: Roman Reigns against a luchador. Have you watched how the luchadors wrestle? Have you watched how Roman Reigns wrestles? I don't know about you, but I'm thinking there's a little difference in styles.
There is. I mean, but you did have. I mean, they could be looking at when they had Rey Mysterio beat the Big Show. A little guy beat a big guy. But I mean, you're gonna go way back for that one. But I mean, still, I just it doesn't make any sense. I mean, there's no storylines being built up. There's just okay. Here, let's put this together. Here you go.
I mean, it is the end of August. You basically have 12 weeks. I'm sorry. Yeah. 12 weeks, 3 months to Survivor Series.
Uh-huh.
And you really don't know. Now, maybe I'm missing it. Maybe this time last year, we didn't know what was going to happen either. We weren't sure of who was going to be where and all this all kind of stuff. But this just seems so like out of touch, out of line. Because like even the women's faction, please don't tell me that we're going to get like a Jay Cargill and whatever the hell her two lackeys are called.
Meechin and B-Fab.
Yeah. And what? The Irresistible Forces against Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Tatum Paxley,
Tiffy time.
and who?
Yeah. Yeah. I
You're
agree.
right. You're right, Locke, and it really has. It really has. That was one that people like, look forward to, man. It was, Thanksgiving weekend, man. It was like, man, this is gonna be so cool and everything and stuff. And it went to where, like to your point, it's like it's not that big of a deal, man. It's just not that big of a deal, anymore. Which is, like I said, personally, you know, it's sad, where it went, and setting it up and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know, like I said, and I'm probably 100% wrong in that we are, pardon me, we are probably in the exact same scenario as we were, last year. But it just seems as though there was, at least there was seemed to be some kind of a buildup. Now it doesn't seem to be anything. That's the sad part. Doesn't seem to be anything. You know, the ladies division, I really don't know what the hell they're doing there. The ladies division makes zero sense to me anymore. It looked like I saw an X post where it looked like Chelsea might have went ahead and hurt herself some other way again. Now, why are you putting pressure on Chelsea Green, who everybody is a lot of, fans are happy that she's, the champ. I won't say everybody. There are a lot of fans that just have watched her and think like, hey, she finally got her thing and all this kind of stuff. So why is it that you put so much pressure on her to have to go ahead and keep her title, yet Liv Morgan doesn't have to fight anybody?
Well, people are getting sick of Liv Morgan. I've read all over the place, but WWE is booked on her, Punk, and Roman right now.
And I'm not saying I mean,
But if you're
I'm
going to
not
put
saying
it,
I don't disagree or agree with it. All I'm saying is that
she
it's
could.
it's a sad look when you take one of a wrestler that is over with the crowd, that the crowd likes a lot, and you say, hey, you got 30 days or you're being stripped. But then you have Liv Morgan, who the crowd loves to hate her, but Liv, you're good. You don't have to go ahead
At least put her in some
and fight.
matches where she's at least fighting for the title, even if she wins, even with a bad win, as I call it. At least she's fighting for the title. She's putting it out
Yeah.
there. And I think what's going to come down to is what's her name's going to be not ready in 30 days and going to have to vacate it.
I mean, unless there is something going on where the only reason why they did that is because uh Rhea is close.
Rhea is not close. I was just reading that up. She's not due back to the beginning of next year.
Okay.
So, I mean, are you going to take it off of her and put it on somebody new? Or is she actually is cleared and the money in the bank? I don't know. Somehow that happens there. I don't know. But it does make no sense. I agree with you. Liv is like safe.
I have to imagine on SmackDown it was taped on Monday. Okay.
Yeah, I read somewhere and they told me all the winners, but I can't remember who it was. I know she ended up winning her match. Because that's what a lot of the SmackDowns are. Very few are live anymore, they said. They're taped usually either that night or Tuesday night in the same town.
Yeah, like I said, but that's the stuff. That's the kind of thing that irritates me. Is that why are you doing this? Why is it that you are going ahead, and again you put one stipulation on one wrestler that the crowd loves and another one that the crowd doesn't love. But I understand she's a draw, people are going to want to see her and all this kind of stuff, but you don't do the same exact thing. It's only good enough for her to come out and talk, and maybe that's why, because she's a heel, and maybe that's why that she's going to get the heat with the crowd when she starts talking, and they rather have that than be somebody being cheered for. It literally is the only thing that that makes sense.
I agree.
I mean, because nothing else makes sense.
Yeah. It's just dumb what they're doing, and I think it's hurting the product more than helping it.
Well, I don't. I mean, I think that's where part of the problem that we have, where things come from, is that too many. It don't matter.
Yeah.
I think to too many people, it's it's not exciting to. I mean, it's not. I mean, it is crazy to go ahead and think that here we are in August, and I'll be honest with you, I think of the different Raws and everything. Just if I take Raw and I go, okay, that Dragon Lee Ray Phoenix match is probably top three on Monday Night Raw for 2026.
Yeah. I'd agree there.
And that was a nothing that was just a that was nothing that was a nothing important match.
Yeah.
Right? It didn't advance any. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say it advanced the story line of the tournament. But I mean, what are they going to do? Are we expecting a heel turn from one of the brothers?
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it does. But okay.
I don't think it does anything, but it's how they're running it. I mean, it doesn't make sense at
I
all.
just I don't know. I just wish there was something more to it that would make you go, wow, okay, I understand now why. I understand why I want to watch that one.
Right.
And right now, I don't really see it and everything. Again, the whole Tippy thing, and then I saw a picture, um, with Tippy had pink hair.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh my gosh, please no, please don't do that. No, that's not good.
It's, it's not good, but it's what they're probably want to do. Just, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
And that's where we are. And I think that's where, and I don't really think it's going to get any better anytime soon. There's no incentives for it to get better,
Right.
right? I mean, you see what they're doing to AEW, right? They're
Yeah.
they're they're going ahead and they're doing everything they can, to have shows on the exact same time and everything. So so what? What do you do?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where what we've boiled down to is that they I like like, yeah, like even Larkin said earlier, w- why do you bring up OTM to team them with Royce Keys? I mean, and they come all dressed in the black with the bandana and stuff like that. Is this the Shield Part Two?
Yeah. I mean, maybe because it was two big guys to be complimentary to Royce. That's the only thing I can think of. And now are they permanent call ups or is it a one off till SummerSlam? Or not SummerSlam, but Survivor Series.
Um, no, they are. I mean, they're.
It's going to be interesting how they progress that storyline. Whether the Royce Keys and that group goes after Solo and LA, or if they go after the Bloodline. I mean, if they're trying to make it a Royce Keys team versus Bloodline, they'd have to go after the Bloodline. I don't think it would make sense.
Yeah, but Keys doesn't have anybody else.
Not yet. Maybe they forgive each other and Solo and him join up. I don't know. Or
if they beat the shit out of him the way they did, I would think probably not.
do we have a Jacob Fatu flip? That's another like interesting little segment. Although he didn't come out to help his cousins.
No, I mean Jacob Fatu, but how does he leave the bloodline? Wouldn't he have to flip on the bloodline first?
I mean, it could happen because Roman Reigns is supposed to be at Raw next Monday. Does he come at Jacob and say, "Hey, why didn't you help me when LA Knight was beating me up? Even though I did tell you to back off at that point, but you didn't even try to help me." So I mean, there could be that riff there, but I don't know.
Well, I could see him going ahead and throwing that one out there of, hey man, you told me to stand down. I followed orders,
Right.
right?
But he keeps telling Jay and Jimmy that I ain't listening to you. I only take orders from Roman. And Roman's like, "These are my captain. You have to listen to them." And,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they get rid of him out of the bloodline, then there really is there's zero reason to have the bloodline, and you might. I mean, I don't know how you kill that whole thing other than just some kind of a loss, and then the three of them, the Usos and Roman, go away.
yeah, which isn't going to happen.
I mean,
No, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with all that. I mean, that's about the only interesting thing that came out of that stuff the other week. But and Friday night just sucks altogether. There's just nothing there that even interests me watching. Because I mean, do they have Randy beat Cody at what do you call it? I don't think so. Although he is, I think they're going to end up giving him number 15. The way he's talking and all that just makes me feel that that's what they're heading towards. I mean, whether he takes it from Punk, so they can give the Punk Roman match a shot, or what, but
it's, I just don't. I don't
know
know.
if he's
I
going to get
just don't
another
know.
shot.
Say that again.
KO is going to get another shot because of the match how it went down. I'm pretty sure what's his name will
It's
get
going to be some kind of stupid ass triple threat thing. But the problem you have is you don't have anything coming up after Sunday night main event.
Yeah, Money in the Bank.
You have Money in the Bank. That's it.
I mean, if they did it to where they set it for Sunday night, if they do it this Friday and say, "Hey, I want my rematch," well, it's going to be a triple threat for Sunday night.
Dude, that's like a triple main event.
I know. Maybe they're trying to make a big one. If it happens that way, I'm not saying it's going to, but that's I think the only way they could pull that off. They can't. I mean, I guess you could do it at Money in the Bank, but like you said, that's in October. Man, I can see WWE saying, "Look, we're going to have it, but it's going to be at Money in the Bank."
I just don't know how you I don't know how I don't know how you build I don't know how you build it and hold it off for another 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
Yeah, it'd be rough, but I mean,
the whole thing, and like I don't know again, like where are we going with Oba and Braun? Are you going to have Oba squash one half of your tag team champions?
I can see that possibly in a first match. I think you're going to get 3 matches out of this somehow. I don't know how. Something tells me that.
I don't know.
And do you have if you're wanting to push Bronson Reed as a top heel, do you have him return to the division? Because I don't think that helps him become a top heel. I think he has to be on his own to make that top heel. Now, it'd be great if they put him on SmackDown to go up against Gunther for the top heel position, but I don't see that happening.
Well, I wonder. See, to me, again, that's another one of those. You're pushing him for a main event. Who are you pushing out? It's just, I don't know, man. I just, I have to just not.
Yeah.
I gotta not think about it. I gotta not care about it because I just don't. I just don't know. That's the thing that bothers me. What bothers me more than anything is just the lack of direction.
Yeah. There is none. There's nothing at all. There's no trajectory this way, no trajectory that way. It's like you guys are fine with just your mid-level show.
I mean, Randy beats Cody. So does he call out Punk and say, hey, guess what, Punk? I'm really the number one contender? But how do you mix him in there when you have the shit going on with Sammy and now you have the shit going on with Kevin? So, okay, so they're going to have something going on. So you're going to set up a Sammy against Kevin feud if you're not going to go ahead and put the belt on him. But then that takes Sammy away from his Justice for Sammy stuff and everything. That's what I mean. It's just.
The only thing I can think of there would be, like you said, it's a 5-week thing, but you play that out. You have the triple threat match at Money in the Bank. You have Randy win Money at the Bank and cash it in the same night. That kind of is the only way you could do that. I don't see him calling out Punk. I mean, is it possible? Yes, but with the feud they've got going with him and Kevin and Sammy right now, I don't think that would make sense. The only thing it makes is to try to stretch it out 5 weeks. And then, or you have it, Randy calls him out, gets a spot on Friday Night SmackDown to have the title match. He loses it. And then a week or two later, he says, I'm claiming my spot in Money in the Bank. And that's the only other way. There's not a whole lot of other ways you could work that. I mean, you could work up, you had the Cody match, okay. He waits a week. Well, he comes out that Friday, calls out Punk. Punk says, look, we'll do it. Not next Friday, the Friday after that, or something like that. I mean, although, let's see, how would that work for them? Let's see. So you have 2 shows on August 30th in Cleveland. You have Raw and SmackDown the same night. That's October. All right, the end of this week, this Friday night, basically. So they're going to have Raw on Friday night. Oh, they're going to tape Raw, and it's the only way that makes sense. If you're having Raw on Friday night.
Not Raw. SmackDown on Friday.
No, it says August 28th in Cleveland. You have Raw and SmackDown. 2 shows, 1 night. So that's the. I mean, the only way that makes.
What's the reasoning for taping
Raw
Monday Night Raw for Monday on Friday?
I don't know. I'm just seeing that. You get 2 shows, 1 night. Starts at 5:30. I don't understand that one at all. Why is there?
That's one of those that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, folks.
No.
Oh wait, it's WWE. That makes sense.
There's something going on Monday that they can't run it live. I don't know. let's see, you have September 6th. That's when you have the Randy and Cody match. The next
That's right. And then
SmackDown.
you have Oba and
Right.
Braun
No,
that same day.
I'm just trying to see if how you could work that with the Randy angle. Then they go to Mexico City for SmackDown after that.
And
And
Raw.
I guess they could do that. Him call him out in Mexico. And then Monday, yeah, that's Raw. Then yeah, the next one is in Texas,
Pardon me.
Indianapolis, Colorado, LA. Yeah, it doesn't. None of them are near Chicago, so that I mean, Indiana maybe or Texas they have it in maybe if they do it that way. I have, as I to try to work that. I just my head hurts.
Yeah, I just don't think they have a.
A clue.
Like I said, to me, I look. I just look at it from a standpoint of this double main event that they have coming up when they have that next PLE. Okay, so winner of Randy and Cody. I mean, okay, if either one wins, what's next? And then conversely, what's next for the loser?
Yeah. I mean, if you have Cody lose, do you have him
Does he go away?
and come back as a heel, and that's how you turn him heel? I just don't. I don't think he's going to make a good heel personally, but
who does he heel against?
yeah,
If Cody were to look, Cody went ahead and he tried, he tried to do the whole stuff with Randy with the chair and on the thing and the with the head on the steel
yeah.
stairs and so on and so forth. Like, who's Cody gonna go after that as such a face that is gonna make him be hated? That's why I think this whole thing of Cody turning heel, it just makes zero sense.
I mean, if he was still on Raw, I could see it a little bit more. But there's, like you said, on SmackDown, there really isn't too many.
I mean, on Raw, he literally would have to probably attack LA Knight. Because him attacking Roman means nothing because they feuded.
Yeah,
Right? You know what I'm saying?
yeah. An LA Knight or I don't know, some of those younger guys. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I'm at a loss. I don't know. Guess we'll just have to wait and see where they're running with it.
I mean, QB1 and QB1 voila. I mean, you literally called the guy QB1.
Yeah. WWE hitches their horses to the wrong guy sometimes. We're not going to go off with it. He's going to be the title. He's going to have the title again. Da 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 da. It's like really. Give me the old days.
Well, I think I don't mind I mean, the new day with the new days. The worst part of it is what we have going on. There's no again, like we talk about um you know you had nobody to really feud with Trick Williams, so you had to pull freaking Corbin Barron off of the Major League Wrestling roster. You had nobody to feud with Javon Evans,
So you bring in
so
big.
you bring back Big Cass after 8 years away. What is bringing those two guys back do for the young guys? Because unless maybe maybe you're Big Cass and you go, you know what, I wasn't working out at AEW. I figure I would go ahead and I'll come here, yeah, and I'll sneak attack Javon Evans and stuff like that, and and I'll beat him on a Monday Night Raw match.
But where does he go after that?
Okay, now what?
Yeah.
You just did all those things. You
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 can't
you
you can't
beat
put him in
him.
a feud with Roman right away. I mean, is there another big guy you go after?
But remember, he's a bad guy. He's a heel.
Right.
So it's not just another. It's not just another big guy. It's a big guy that is a good guy.
The only one there would be Oba, and he's already busy.
Right.
So it doesn't. Yeah,
And you're not gonna have. You're gonna bring in a big cast to job for Oba.
it's possible,
Yeah.
but I don't see that happening.
I mean, you're trying to go ahead. They're trying to do things that is just stupid.
Yeah.
They're trying to do things that make zero sense.
Give me the
That's
Attitude Era back. At
yeah.
least you had shit there where, I mean, they had the throwing of the belts off the bridge and all that kind of wonderful, fun stuff. Now it's just same old every week. You don't see people coming out in vehicles. You don't see people, you know what I mean? Like, you had Eddie Guerrero, you had the ambulances, you had the milk truck, the beer truck. I mean, you don't have that anymore. It's all just, here you go. We're going to offer you, take it or leave it. We don't really care. And Raw was empty on Monday night, too.
The thing is, John, is why? Like some of those things, like I can understand you don't want to have the attitude. Like I understand when you look at some of the other things they did when it came, especially to the female wrestlers,
Right.
the women. But why stop doing some of the things you're doing?
Things that were working.
Yeah. Like why?
Why?
Like what has happened that you can't do certain things anymore? I don't know. I really have no clue.
Especially when you put them on a cable show and you're like Netflix and stuff, they're still bleeping out the words. It's like, thought this was cable TV. You were able to say that. Not, I mean, it doesn't bother me that they believe it. It's just like, why? So there's something there that maybe we don't know about it. They can't do certain things anymore. But I mean, ever since TKO, WWE was here. TKO brought it way down to here. They have just thinned it out so far that it doesn't make it really a show anymore.
Well, because it boils down to the fact that it's just money.
Yeah, and I hear they're upping the ESPN app too.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
They're making that go for more money.
I mean, I read somewhere that said that they weren't neither that ESPN wasn't going to renew the contract, but then I heard that that was all BS. So, I mean, it's a 5-year contract. I'm just curious if there's any back out clauses in it for either one, because I cannot see how they are doing any good with this. I mean, now I know they went to try to bring more people by doing the first hour of all the pay per views are on regular ESPN, and then you got to go to the other one. But I mean, it just is not. I mean, $31 was enough. What are you going to up it to? 39.99 now? I mean, I don't know what they didn't say the price that I saw, but yeah, Netflix does have an out after 5 years. I think they're going to use that.
Well, I mean, I would think ESPN has an out. If these, I mean, you sign a 5-year contract. I mean, I would think that any of them could go ahead and go out. I mean, what they got to start thinking about. I mean, in reality, what are we? We're 2 years in now. These contracts.
Yeah, or is it a year?
It's going from 30 to 32.
And with the tax, add more to it. Screw that.
It's got to be more than a year, hasn't it? They only started on Netflix in 25.
Oh, Netflix. No. Netflix has been, I think, 2 years. I thought you said ESPN. ESPN would have been a year the end of August, and they had the Palooza thing.
Right. So ESPN is wrapping up year one.
I want to say it's either 2 or 3 years for Netflix.
Yeah. The thing that gets me is I don't know. I have a funny feeling. I mean, if you're Netflix, obviously you have to look and I mean, you're not. The thing with Netflix is we think just U.S., but globally everything is on Netflix.
Right.
So I don't think Netflix is going to go anywhere.
Probably not. But
At least,
I'm
at least, I don't know. I don't know if they do. I don't know if there's Netflix International versus Netflix USA, but you would
oh,
think they're not going to go ahead and they're not going to give up the rest of the Netflix is not going to give up the rest of the world when they get everything.
oh, one
Okay.
year, 8 months. Okay.
All right. Cool. 1 year, 8 months. Thank you, Locke. You know what I'm saying? So from a Netflix perspective, because you have that everywhere in the world, it doesn't pay to go ahead and for
And they
Netflix
have,
to let them go.
and Netflix has all the PLEs for overseas, I believe, too, don't they?
Everything. Yeah, they have everything. Yeah, all the
See, why does that? Why do they have to change it here in the U.S.? Why can't they do it here in the U.S.? Same thing. Put it all on Netflix and be done with it.
that's right. That's the
I
other
also
thing.
think I like your idea. Just bring back the WWE Network. Even if you charge $20 a month, you have everything at your disposal. All that money comes to you. It's not being filtered through a third company, and you're not paying what is it, $6 billion to ESPN or however that contract ESPN paid them or whatever. But I just I know there's more to it than all that, but still,
Oh
it should
yeah,
be all in one area, not have to have 7 different apps.
no doubt, no doubt. I think like I said to me, when I look at it from that perspective, it's I don't understand. Like I said, I don't think Netflix is going to ESPN. I'm not sure. ESPN just gobbled up CW Sports. I guess there was a CW Sports, and now
Yeah.
that's going to be on the ESPN app and everything. Um, you know, I'm curious how many people have the standalone ESPN Unlimited app because there are there are cable internet services that if you get a certain level of
Right.
TV, it's included.
Yeah, my if I got my cable here, it would be included in the top tier, but I'm not paying what they want a month for it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very, very true. You know what I'm saying from that standpoint. So, like I said, I wonder how many you know, how many I should say, I wonder how many wrestling fans are
Just the app.
just the app. I was just the app when we lived in Georgia and the only reason why I did it was because I knew I was moving, and I knew and we already kind of knew that when we got here, that the cable service that we wanted, the level that we wanted, that it was going to be included. So we already understood that part. So that's the only reason why I got it. I don't know if things have changed, stuff like that. Who knows? But that was one of those things, But like moving here, and I had it because I always had people over for every single one of them. When it was a big one, I would get food, whether it be pizza, so on and so forth. We'd have a big. I would run contests. We would have it would be a big event. 8, sometimes as many as 12 people would come over. But I would not go ahead and keep it if it wasn't included for just me alone sitting here, watching it.
Right.
I figure out other ways to go ahead and watch it.
Yeah.
Basically, it's ESPN3 stuff that is, yeah, that's that. When you think about it, you're right, Logan, because like you get a lot of college stuff. I mean, look, if they have a lot of stuff on the app. I mean, I'm not gonna,
But if you're just there for the wrestling, is it worth that $32 a month?
I don't think so.
One pay per view. Was it one
Not.
pay per view every couple months?
That's what I'm saying. You don't even get it at, like, so you pay your okay, so you bought it for, well, August is a bad example,
You
but
bought
you're
it
gonna
for WrestleMania, and then you had, I think there was one in there.
you
You
had
might
May. You had May because May was Clash of Italy, but you don't have anything for September.
That's what I'm saying. Like you said, if you buy it in August for what do you go? You're paying a month to get anything.
Right.
Well, and are they no? Because
You
that's
buy
only
it in you buy it in August to watch SummerSlam. You get nothing in September.
because that AAA is on YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes no sense.
So you get nothing for that, and then you get, I mean, Money in the Bank worth $32 to watch by yourself. If you're not, like I said, if you have people over and all kind of stuff, you just sit there. Now again, if you're a college football fan, also, or you're a college sports fan, wow, there's a lot of stuff on the app when it comes to college sports, so on and so forth.
Right.
So you don't have to, from that standpoint. I just pure wrestling fans who are only going to be watching wrestling. I wonder how many of them there are that have purchased the app straight up just to go ahead and get WWE content.
I could be wrong, but I can't see it being a ton. And I'm sure there's some, but I don't think there's that many. I don't know. It just needs to all be in one place, make it a lot easier. I mean, even if they put everything on ESPN, okay, then I could see paying $32 to a point. If you put everything on their libraries, everything goes to the ESPN, okay. And then you get your Raw, you get your SmackDown, you get your NXT, you get your AAA, you get all the old stuff and all that. Okay, I could see possibly paying 32, maybe, but not just for pay-per-views. No.
No.
I remember the pay-per-views what they cost back then, but
it was crazy.
It was like a couple $100. It's like, no, thank you.
It was absolutely nuts what they wanted to. So it made sense. It made sense when the WWE network came out. I mean, my gosh, I jumped right on it. I mean, I was a very early subscriber to the WWE network. So like so I'm going to pay $120 for the year, and I'm getting every single one. When I was before that, I was buying WrestleMania for something, whatever, however much it was, and I was buying Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Hell, I mean, that was simple. Go ahead and agree to. Simple.
Are you part of that new thing with WWE with that their shop and all that? That I forget what it is. They call it now. Like
Club WWE.
Yeah.
No, because it's like $100 a year.
Is it really? Wow.
I think so. I mean, I may be wrong on the number, but there is a number associated with it.
I just didn't know. Like, and that's just for merchandise and stuff, really, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah. Oh boy. Mm-hmm. Next week we'll be able to make our predictions for Sunday night main event.
Sir.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if it was free, well, heck yeah,
Right.
I'd be going ahead and I would, I'd definitely go ahead and you know, give it a
Yeah.
look. I would have gone ahead and be like, oh, okay, it's free. Yeah, hey, I can. Yeah, that'll work for me. I could do that. You know.
Well, that is kind of cool. But you got to pay to get to the show, so now you're paying $100 plus the tickets to the show, which are easily $100.
Yeah. For so you can what? Maybe get a couple autographs or something.
And you're
I mean,
not going to be the top guys. It's going to be all the guys who aren't doing anything in the back.
good point.
You'll get Baron Corbin. That's who Mike would get. He'd be like, no, thank you. Can you please leave? All the founders really got was a plaque thing with a matte relic in it. Oh, jeez. At least you could have had an autograph for $100.
I mean, getting a plaque with your name on it from memory, you do that. I mean, I think that might be worth $99, and then go ahead and cancel it.
Get the plaque. See you.
Hey, thanks a lot, people. Appreciate it. I'm good. You're good. We're all good. Later.
Yeah, I was looking. I like saw it. And I'm like, I wonder if Mike got that. And like, because I said I know it's going to cost a decent amount of money, but I mean, if I went to more shows, like they're closer, maybe it'd be worth it to maybe possibly get somebody in that lounge that's decent. I get that overrated Jay Uso for me.
There is a rumor that L.A. Knight has asked for his release.
Oh wow, I don't. That makes sense, maybe because he keeps getting pushed and then held back, pushed and then held back, and now you put him together with Solo, the odd couple.
Well, like we had said, what are you doing? Like
Obviously,
literally,
it's
like literally,
Solo
what
face.
are you doing with the guy? I mean, it's like, do they all have the volume turned off on, on their, on their TVs?
Maybe.
Because please don't tell me that you don't hear the pop that the dude gets.
Oh, looking at his contract, he signed a multi-year extension in 2024 that secured a significant pay raise for LA Knight. So
Yeah.
oh, so CM Punk's ends in November. Bailey and Ray is at the end of the year.
True. Definitely true. They would be afraid that he would go, but you would think that there are plenty of guys on the roster, or a number of guys on the roster, that they would be concerned, about leaving.
Right.
I mean, you would think, unless
I mean, I don't think they'd be concerned
unless they
for
have a bunch of
Solo.
young guys wrapped up in contracts. I mean, my gosh, you imagine, you know, I mean, imagine a Carmelo Hayes leaving and going there. Yep.
Imagine an Oba leaving and going there,
Yeah,
or a Braun Breaker.
I think it's going to be interesting to see what kind of contracts those guys get. What is TKO going to be willing to pay? What's going to be the stipulations? I think that's what you're going to wind up seeing now in some of the contracts, where kind of when back in the old school days, you were expected to go ahead and be at everything. You're expected to go ahead, you were expected to be, they were on the road so much so long. I wonder if maybe this next round of, as they start redoing these contracts, is that something that they start putting in? Hey, guess what? Yeah, we'll pay you $10 million. No problem whatsoever. Uh, you're not working 25 nights.
Right.
10 million. It's not going to happen. We want, we expect you to work more than that.
Let's see. It's not saying as far as what he got. Guaranteed main roster contract and performs under a rare free agent status. He signed a multi-year deal prior to officially vacating his NXT championship. So he got a decent pay, but who knows what it is.
Right.
And I wonder if they add in. Well, you really can't add in. If you win this, you win that because it's all pretty set. But
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's like, hey, if you win the MVP award.
I know, right? If you win a Slammy, well, yeah, I just don't. I think Oba got a decent contract, but again, it's going to come down to what they do with him.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, they had the good feud with Brock, but is this one with Braun really going to be that good? I mean, I can't see Braun Breaker going anywhere, but they do need to get rid of Logan Paul, though.
Anything is possible. I don't know what. Yeah, look, I don't. It's.
I would love to see them put that on him.
I kind of thought that they were gonna. I thought they were gonna have. I thought the Vision was gonna drop the title to Alpha Academy, the tag belts. I thought they were. Some kind of freak little thing happens,
Even if it was for just a week or two.
Yeah, even just for a week, man. We want a rematch, bang, or something along those lines, or I don't know,
So here's a question for you: do you see maybe coming weeks or so, a Damian Priest flip on R-Truth? I know they just lost another title shot match.
He can.
So I've seen a lot of people talking that, yeah, he's going to flip. He's going to flip. Mike just rolled away, people. Sorry. There he is. But do you see it happening, or is it something that you don't think will happen for a while?
Yeah.
True.
To me, that boils down to another one of those things of I really don't know, because I guess you have to break them up. If the idea is that Priest is going to go off and try and become, champ.
True.
Pardon me. You know what I mean?
Because Truth always has a comedic action, so it's not like it's a.
Truth don't need a belt. He don't need nothing. He can do what he has to do. But the truth of the matter is the truth of the matter. I mean, the thing with him though is
His
you
age is
know,
catching up to him.
without a belt, what is he doing?
Yeah, he's kind of like him and Danhausen should get together. Sorry, that would make a funny tag team there. But I mean,
I get where you're coming from.
it's a comedic act. That's all it would be there. But I mean, like you said, Truth really doesn't need anything. He does have his own little shtick that he does. It's good. He's been by himself plenty of times before.
Yeah.
Come on, he was a 27 Ford holder.
Like it doesn't really it really doesn't do a lot.
No.
You know, like having the belt on him was nice. It was cute. I really, that's what it was.
Yeah.
All right, Truth. Woo! I mean, you know,
Terrible tag team, but it's not a long lasting thing if they keep going.
well, especially because my goodness gracious, one would think that you'd have again, thinking out of the box when it comes to WWE, you would think that they would have something better in their minds for Damian Priest. I mean, or is that it? Is that he gets to say he was a one-time champion who held the belt for what was it, 20, a couple of minutes?
Yeah. I mean, I can see them maybe trying to push him, but I don't know. They're going to push him to a intercontinental or a U.S. title. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't know where they're going. Same with that. I wish they would just get rid of the Judgment Day altogether. That is just getting so annoying. Dominic could do fine on his own without the Judgment Day.
Oh, actually, it was Drew that had the show, and Damian Priest had 118 days.
That's right. That's right. Because Drew had that short one with.
Drew won it, and then he cashed it in that night when Punk came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So.
Anyway.
I agree. I don't know. I just don't.
We'll just sit back and let it play out. Because that's all we can do. We can rate the shows how we feel. And that's about it.
Yeah, there's not. There really is, unfortunately. There's not a lot you can do. I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be. They're going to. I mean, we want them to do different things. They're not going to do different things. You know, they at some point in time, you hope that they see, hey, what we're doing really isn't resonating with the fans. But you know, look, they they're more than happy to go ahead and have, you know, celebrities or local athletes or whoever the hell it is show up and get the front row of the seats. Right there in Buffalo, they had four
Mm-hmm.
guys from the Buffalo Bills, and then they had up all these other people, you know. And we watch, like, when they go to when they go to Mexico City, my gosh, it's gonna be, oh, look at all these people in the front row and everything like that. And you know, it's like between influencers and actors and comedians and athletes and everything. I mean, you know, they can go ahead and not advertise, but they can show on TV that those guys are going to be there and something along those lines. And you know, they'll go from there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
however sad it is, that's
Where
really
we're at.
what it is.
Yeah. Ugh. hopefully Friday will be decent, but I doubt it. So, anyway.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have. I don't have a great deal of hope.
No.
That that's something's gonna. That's something I don't know. Great's gonna happen. And I don't think much will happen on the Sunday night main event. I mean, it's going to be interesting, to see how they're going to try and make things happen. But we'll talk about that more next week.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for hanging out.
No problem.
Episode number 40 in the books.
Yes. Thank you all for showing up and for interacting. We appreciate it.
Yep. Have a good one, everybody. See you next week.
Peace.
Deuces.